Hello everyone, PromptMatrix is back with another video. Today we are going to be analyzing the newest model from OpenAI, which is the GPT 5.6. As soon as it came out, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, people mentioning how powerful the tool model is, and today we are going to be analyzing why it's powerful and how it is performing against other frontier models. And without further ado, let's get into the details, guys. Directly on the website, we're seeing three major signatures from the website. We're seeing three different planets. We're seeing the sun, earth, and the moon. Reason why it is like that, it's just not for the style. It's because it represents the three models from GPT 5.6. GPT 5.6 consists of the Sol, stands for the sun, and Terra, which is the earth, and the Luna, which is the moon model. So these are the three models that are named in total as GPT 5.6. The main difference between them are the Sol model, it's a new flagship model, and that's the most powerful model from the OpenAI. Terra is more like for everyday tasks, and the Luna is the most cost-efficient model. You can think of that way in a broader term. And here we can see on the agent/exam, which is a benchmark for testing how well the AIs are performing. It was developed from Berkeley University and with 300 different researchers to develop some tasks to compare different AI models. And we can see here that different models were being compared, both Sol and Luna. Terra is over there, and also in this task, the Claude and Gemini models are also being compared against the newest model from OpenAI. And at a first glance, we can directly see we have the y-axis, the score, and the API cost. And when I hover over the results, you can see here the GPT 5.6 Sol model, which is the most powerful model amongst these three models from GPT 5.6, has the highest score, but it also costs a bit more compared to the other GPT variations, such as if I hover over here, you get to see the Luna model, which is the fastest and the cheapest one. It still performs quite. The API cost was $429, and in order to achieve 50%, it costs around $519. So overall, we can see the GPT-5 models are performing a lot better compared to the Fable model or Opus model. Here we see the Opus model costing a lot more, but in the meantime, score is a lot less. This agent/exam shows us how powerful new GPT 5.6 models are. And here's another benchmark, Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, shows against a similar result here, showing GPT 5.6 all performing the best. Obviously, it costs a bit more, but still, compared to the Claude models, it costs still a lot less. This article from artificialanalysis.ai also did a bit of depth research and compared the new GPT model against Fable and Gemini, Grok, and came up with these important key takeaways. According to their article, you are getting the same output, almost a similar, by paying the third of the cost compared to Claude Fable. This already shows how powerful the GPT 5.6 model is. And not only that, it is also leading in all coding agent evaluations. We took a look at one benchmark on their official website, but also in EPSWE, Terminal Bench, and other benchmarks. It is apparently leading coding evaluations. I've also seen codex examples and realized how powerful it is. We are also going to be taking a look at it later in this video. Some people built by using GPT 5.6. It also has the highest presentation ELO in AA briefcase and has a hash-rate pricing, and it is using low token use. And just to give you a better idea, the 1 million token, the Sol model is using $5 as input and $30 for output. Terra, which is again for everyday tasks, it is using $2.5 as input and $15 per output. And for the Luna, which is the fast and the cheapest option, it uses $1 a million token for input and $6 for the output. Whereas for Fable model is cost $10 per input and $50 per output. Compare this against Sol model, how actually expensive it is. This gives you a better idea actually why people are now switching to the GPT 5.6 model. If you're using GPT 5.6 or would like to use it within ChatGPT, there are different types of options you can select. If you select instant chat mode, you're going to get fast response for your everyday questions, but the ChatGPT will still be using the previous model, which is the GPT 5.5 instant. Make sure if you would like to use GPT 5.6, you need to be switching at least a medium so that it uses the standard reasoning with the GPT 5.6 Sol model. If you would like to get some extended reasoning, then you can switch to high model. If you like extra high, then you get the highest reasoning with the GPT 5.6. If you use Pro, and you're basically going to have some agent subtasking within the 0.6 model. This is how you can differentiate within ChatGPT if you would like to use the GPT 0.6 model. Let us now take a look at some real-world examples of what people build by using GPT 5.6 model. This example, basically vibe coded a tool that just builds a model just based on an image instead of drawing by hand or scanning it. So you just basically upload a picture and this tool recreates this whole object, the pure code-based C.js model. It's just an image of any object. It could be a ship or a car. And then the AI walks through it by rebuilding that object as a real 3D model. And it's written entirely in code. So no 3D scanning or manual modeling. It's open source. Here's how it looks like. This is the image. We can see the image. Let me make it a bit bigger. This image has been provided and it converted that image a 3D model entirely built by code. So this is quite fascinating. And in the video, we also have some different options. What happens if you apply some strong wind, simulation, you can do some rowing effect or lighting effect. It is quite fascinating what's possible basically by using the GPT 5.6 model. By the way, if you made it this far, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It will really help me along the way to grow this AI community within this channel. I have a lot of ideas, but I also need some support from you guys. I really appreciate if you subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thanks for that. Let us continue with another example. What did we learn so far? We mentioned that GPT 5.6 Sol model outputs are pretty close to Fable 5, but the pricing, there's a huge difference on the pricing. GPT 5.6 costs almost 1/3 of the cost. In this example, we get to see a similar result. This user just the same prompt with the 3 different prompts with different models. The Sol model from GPT 5.6 and Terra model from GPT 5.6 and Opus 4.8 was basically OpenAI versus Claude, and he simulated supernova boom, meteor hitting a city, a solar system model. And the bill was Sol model, which is the most powerful one, costs only $4.77. Terra costed almost the quarter of it, $0.24 US, whereas Fable was off the charts at almost 10, whereas Opus 4.8 was somewhere in between Sol and Terra, almost $0.5 US. So outputs were surprisingly close, but the prices weren't, which was our conclusion. Let us now take a look at the results. We see here GPT 5.6 Sol and Terra models on top and Cloud models on below. So let me make it a bit bigger. The first one is the solar boom, I believe. What was the supernova? The first one is supernova boom, and yeah, it looked quite close and they're all looking fine to me. I like the simulation with the Fable, if I had to say, but based on the results, I wouldn't pay $10 for Fable. I wouldn't also pay probably $5 almost for the Sol. I would either go for Terra or 4.8, but the results are quite similar. So why would I pay $10 whereas I can pay only $1.25 US for the Terra? This was a nice example for that. This last example, this user took this time 4 different models with 3 different prompts. But this time, he took not only the Claude model, but also the previous GPT model, which was GPT 5.5, newly released Grok 4.5 model. Prompts were a monster truck backflipping on a parked car, a stunt car jumping 6 buses into a brick wall, and a train derailing off a broken bridge into the water. And let's now briefly analyze what he built. Sol, Ultra, and Opus 4.8 models are on top, and Grok 4.5 and GPT 5 are on the bottom. If you run it, yeah, you can see the Grok 4.5 failed. Is not even jumping off this obstacle. GPT 4.5 physics were looking actually quite suitable. Ultra is looking a bit close to the GPT 4.5, and 4.8 looks the scaling is a bit off. So I would go for the GPT 5 model in this case. and it cost one of the cheapest. Basic 4.5 failed. The GPT 5.5 was the winner of this prompt. The next one, car is jumping over the obstacle on these 6 trains. They all created these 6 buses was the prompt. The prompt was, it's jumping over 6 buses into a brick wall. Ultra is looking, physics are pretty astonishing, but GPT 4.5 is also not bad. Grok 4.5 is failing. The car is basically nowhere to be found after it jumped. 4.8 is also failed. The winner of these is again the GPT models. GPT 4.5 is costing third of the Sol Ultra, so I would again go for 4.5 as the winner. In the last prompt, what was it? It was a train derailing off a broken bridge into the water. Let's see how these models performed. All right, the derailing is all there. They all perform close. However, I found again the Grok 4.5 visuals are not that appealing, and the rest of them are quite close. The winner of these comparison, based on my opinion, is GPT 4.5 is because it all performed these 3 tasks, but in the meantime is one of the least since Grok 4.5 failed. So again shows basically, okay, Sol Ultra is a powerful model, but does it really perform well compared to the GPT 4.5 model? This was also the question because all of the benchmarks we saw and we checked out earlier showed us that the Sol Ultra being the best. However, when it comes to the real world problems or coding, in this case it's more like a game development and HTML based development, GPT 4.5 still performing quite well and costing a lot less compared to Sol Ultra. In my next video I'll also be pairing such comparison. Please also let me know in the comments below what your opinion is, whether you have compared these models with each other or you have used for different tasks. Please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Until next time, bye for now.